now to that commuter chaos in Metro Vancouver as a full-scale strike by transit supervisors kicked off this morning.
Yeah, it's been a messy and hectic commute in pouring rain. Hundreds of thousands of people who take the bus or SeaBus scrambling to make alternate plans. Grace Key is live with more on the toll it's taking and why the union is warning this could get worse. Grace.
Yeah, we're just at the Vancouver Transit Centre on Hudson Street, where you can see behind me here some of the picketers have set up. But yeah, this is going to go on for 48 hours, and the union has said if something isn't resolved soon, they could certainly see an escalation in job action. Early Monday morning, a little confusion from passengers at Surrey Scott Road bus loop and at the North Vancouver SeaBus terminal. 300,000 people depend on the bus every day to get to school, work and appointments, all caught in the middle of a labor dispute.
No, I didn't see any news, nothing, so I know it's quite inconvenient.
I just think that maybe SeaBus is working, but it's not.
I knew that there was a strike, but I took the SeaBus here last night, so I didn't think it was going to be impacted.
CUPE 4,500 workers walked off the job 3 a.m. Monday after Coast Mountain Bus Company and the union failed to reach a contract agreement over the weekend. The union represents 180 transit supervisors. A war of words between the two sides over pay and workload issues continued.
We estimate that the ripple effect of the union's demands on other future contracts to be in the order of $250 million. That is $250 million on top of a $4.6 billion deficit over 10 years.
In order to fix that wage discrepancy, it would cost them annually less than an additional 0.05% of their annual budget for salary, benefits, and wages.
There's also the threat of a possible picket involving SkyTrain and the West Coast Express. Over the weekend, the union made an application to the Labor Relations Board stating the union is entitled to picket at or near places where allies perform work or furnish services for the benefit of the struck employer. A hearing has not been scheduled, so SkyTrain and West Coast Express are expected to run as normal. The strike is for 48 hours. Buses and SeaBuses should be back up Wednesday morning. The union will continue with its overtime ban and then consider its next move.
Clearly, we don't have a deal now, so we'll have to plan our next escalation. Obviously, it's going to be an escalation, which means more than the current one.
All right. Do we know anything about the timing when the Labor Relations Board would hear the union's application?
Yeah, we just got word that a hearing has been set for next Monday. So again, same as usual, there's going to be SkyTrain, there's going to be the West Coast Express, so you don't have to worry about that. Ultimately, it is the LRB who's going to have to make the decision on whether or not, the union could extend its picketing to the SkyTrain. So everyone's safe for now if you do ride the SkyTrain. Chris?
Status quo for at least another week, it sounds like. Okay, thanks very much, Grace.
All right, let's bring in Keith Baldrey for more on this. And Keith, there is a push for people to get out of their cars and take more transit. So this does raise the question, if you want people to take transit, if you're building transit hubs, housing around transit, why isn't it an essential service?
Yes, indeed. So essential service is traditionally defined as protecting life or limb, not commuting, not getting to work, not going shopping or anything like that. But many people do take SkyTrain to go to medical appointments. So the LRB at some point may rule on essential service levels. So that's something Kevin Falcon, the leader of the BC United Party, raised today, saying the government should essentially make a preemptive strike and set those levels right now before any more job action occurs. Harry Bains, the Labour Minister, responded, well, they already have the mechanism. It's called the Labour Board and the Labour Act. Here's the two of them.
What they need to do is establish minimal levels of service because it is an essential service, and that way, while there's an ongoing dispute taking place, the public is still being served. In the absence of that, government will be forced to use the heavy hammer of legislation. Certainly that's the last tool you want to use.
That option is available now under the code. Parties can reach out to the Labour Board and they put their cases together and declare certain areas of this service as essential service. It has happened. It happens all the time.
So Labour officials tell me today they expect the LRB, if they face such a scenario, having both sides presenting essential service levels, will make a decision very quickly and likely allow a picket line to go around a SkyTrain station or stop because, again, life or limb has to be protected. And many people use transit and use SkyTrain to go to medical appointments. That fits the definition of what is an essential service.
All right, we'll see how it develops. Keith, thank you.
All right, on that point, today's transit strike has left hundreds of thousands of Metro Vancouver commuters scrambling to find another way to get where they need to go.
And it's often been a much more expensive alternative. Cassidy Mosconi is live with more on what has been a costly day for some commuters who don't have the option to drive. Cassidy.
Yeah, well, Sophie, we're definitely in the middle of the evening commute here. The SkyTrains, they're up and running, but the buses, they are out of action. If I were to call an Uber from here, Commercial and Broadway down to, say, Kitsilano, it would cost me about $20 on rideshare platforms right now. It was about the same last hour, but still that price is 6 times what it would cost me to take the bus.
In a transit workers' strike, it's the commuters who pay the price.
Food prices are high right now, so $30 just to get to the 92.
How long's that ride, do you think?
I think it's a 2 or 3 kilometer only.
Just gonna try to find an Uber, which is impossible, and it's $60 just to go across. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
With buses out of action, travellers are out of options, many looking to rideshare platforms with surging prices.
Our payroll person lives in the North Shore and we're in downtown Vancouver, and it was just under $200. The work is here, it has to get done.
In a statement, an Uber spokesperson told Global News between 7 and 8 Monday morning, the number of active drivers was up more than 70% compared to the same time last week in Metro Vancouver. Adding, Uber has capped surge pricing and offered additional incentives to drivers, but it wouldn't confirm what the surge was capped at. Taxi drivers say it was one of their busier mornings.
The taxi driver will not charge you more than a penny even what is on the meter. So you can rest sure whatever you see, that's what you pay.
Evo use up too. The car share platform recording an immediate 30% increase in trips Monday morning with a 50% increase in new member sign-ups.
I'm told Evo has also been relocating some of its share vehicles to SkyTrain stations like this one to help people get to where they need to go. Lyft also confirming to us they've implemented a prime time cap to help contain those prices, and commuters just should be bracing for similar scenes tomorrow. Chris and Sophie.
All right, thanks for that. Cassidy Mosconi reporting live tonight.